While on vacation in London, a young woman posed in front of the iconic Tower Bridge with her father for what should have been a cherished family memory captured in a single photograph, yet that innocent click of the camera revealed a hidden truth in the background that shattered her entire world, exposing a devastating secret of identity theft and kidnapping that had defined her life for 18 years. A revelation echoing the timeless human struggle between the lies we inherit and the truth that demands to be faced. In the crisp morning air along Queen's Walk in South London, 18-year-old Ellie Gibson strolled beside her father Henry, her eyes sparkling with the wonder of her first visit to the vibrant city, the River Thames sparkling under a bright blue sky as Tower Bridge rose majestically ahead. Its Victorian engineering a testament to 19th century innovation when Sir Horace Jones and Sir John Wolfe-Barry designed the Basque Bridge in 1894 to allow ships passage while connecting the growing metropolis, much like how personal bridges of trust can open or close pathways in our lives. Ellie's laughter rang light and carefree as Henry teased her about saving for future trips instead of online shopping, their bond appearing unbreakable until a friendly street photographer with a portable photo booth offered a £9.99 souvenir printed instantly on magnetic material plus a digital copy. They posed warmly, Henry hugging Ellie from behind against the railing, the image capturing what seemed a perfect father-daughter moment against the historic backdrop. Yet when Ellie later zoomed into the digital version on her phone while back at their Bury Street Airbnb, a green trash bin in the background held a missing person flyer for a little girl whose face bore an uncanny resemblance to her own younger self, the date 2005 marking the disappearance aligning eerily with her age, stirring a vague familiarity that sent chills down her spine. Her mother Lisa greeted them warmly with fresh croissants, but Henry's hurried dismissal of the physical print and his sudden need to take out trash raised Ellie's subtle suspicions, which she pushed aside amid the excitement of exploring more of London. However, as social media comments from friends exploded with, "OMG, that girl in the background looks like your mini-me," the nagging unease grew, leading her to confront Henry at lunch near Potter's Fields Park where he claimed the flyer must have blown away while nervously patting his jacket pocket, his explanations feeling rehearsed and evasive like a poorly constructed alibi in a classic detective novel. Philosophical wisdom whispers here that identity is not merely given but discovered through courageous questioning, much like English learners who must move beyond surface-level vocabulary to unpack complex sentences and idioms such as the elephant in the room, an obvious issue everyone avoids, originating from 19th century American literature symbolizing something impossible to ignore, transforming confusion into clarity and empowering one to reclaim their authentic narrative amid life's deceptions. Historically, this mirrors cases like the 19th century changeling legends or real 20th century kidnappings, such as the Lindbergh baby abduction in 1932 that captivated global attention and led to advancements in forensic identification, reminding us in our modern era of DNA testing and social media awareness campaigns that truth, though painful, liberates the soul from fabricated foundations. Ellie's emotional development unfolded vividly as doubt blossomed into quiet determination, her hands trembling while secretly retrieving the crumpled flyer from Henry's jacket later that afternoon, the little girl's innocent eyes staring back as if whispering forgotten memories, teaching the universal lesson that denial may offer temporary comfort, but authenticity demands confrontation, urging viewers to reflect. What hidden flyer in the background of your own life story have you been avoiding? And how might mastering advanced English descriptive techniques, layering sensory details and conditional clauses like, "if only I had noticed sooner," equip you to zoom in on uncomfortable truths and rewrite your personal history with courage and compassion? As the afternoon shadows lengthened across London's cobblestone streets, Ellie's world continued fracturing during their restaurant meal near Big Ben, whose iconic chimes since 1859 have marked time for millions, symbolizing how moments of revelation can toll like bells awakening dormant realities, when she directly asked to see the missing flyer, prompting Henry's fork to clatter and his face to pale, his hasty excuses about it slipping away ringing hollow against the growing mountain of inconsistencies, including both parents' sudden lack of childhood photos on their phones despite years of family memories. The tension peaked when Ellie spotted the same woman from the park posting fresh flyers outside their Airbnb, her purposeful sadness evoking historical figures like the mothers of the Plaza de Mayo in Argentina since 1977, who marched weekly demanding answers about their disappeared children during the Dirty War, a movement that highlighted persistent parental love against state or personal tyranny. Ellie's instinctive approach to offer sympathy was cut short by her parents' frantic intervention, their synchronized fear confirming deeper secrets as they ushered her inside, the elevator ride silent except for the soft dings mirroring the ticking uncertainty in her chest. Back in the apartment, Ellie's heart pounded as she eavesdropped through the bedroom door, overhearing the devastating confession. "We kidnapped her, she would hate us. This holiday was a mistake coming back to London." Lisa's resigned voice and Henry's desperate insistence on their love shattering Ellie's reality, like the fall of ancient empires, such as the Roman Empire in 476 AD, where long-hidden cracks of corruption led to collapse, teaching philosophical resilience drawn from Stoicism. Epictetus taught that we control our responses, not events, while in modern relevance, English learners gain power by practicing reported speech and emotional vocabulary, devastating confession, shattering reality, to articulate betrayals in journals or advocacy, turning personal trauma into shared wisdom that prevents cycles of deception in families or societies. Vivid character moments unfolded in Ellie's racing pulse and trembling hands as she retrieved the flyer and magnetic photo once more, the 2005 date confirming the girl, Sarah Wells, would now be her exact age, her reflection in the mirror suddenly alien, prompting an emotional journey from disbelief to raw anger, where childhood memories reframed as stolen moments, much like how post-colonial literature reclaims narratives from imposed identities. When Ellie confronted them, Henry's slap across her face, leaving a stinging bruise and metallic taste of blood, escalated the horror, his grip dragging her to the locked bathroom where she slid to the cold tiles sobbing, the confined space amplifying isolation akin to historical prison cells used in Victorian asylums for the hysterical, underscoring how control masquerades as love. Yet Lisa's later act of striking Henry unconscious with a cast-iron pan and unlocking the door, urging Ellie to run to the police with "I love you too much to let that happen," added layers of moral complexity, illustrating that redemption can emerge even from profound guilt, encouraging English mastery of nuanced contrasts, although yet to explore ethical gray areas in discussions or essays. This chapter of the journey inspires through Ellie's transformation from carefree tourist to truth seeker, her footsteps pounding London streets toward the police station, a modern parallel to Underground Railroad escapes or civil rights marches, where one step toward justice rewrites destiny. It reminds us that while betrayal wounds deeply, the universal wisdom of forgiveness as self-liberation, not erasure, fosters growth. And by honing advanced English narrative skills like embedding historical allusions or sensory immersion, we can transform our shattered moments into empowering stories that heal ourselves and illuminate paths for others. What locked bathroom door of denial or family secret in your life is ready to be unlocked today, and how will embracing the discomfort of honest confrontation, practiced through vivid English storytelling, free you to step into your authentic identity with strength and renewed purpose? Bursting through the doors of the London police station, breathless and tear-streaked with a missing flyer clutched like a lifeline, Ellie's words tumbled out. "I need to report myself and my parents. I'm this missing girl," prompting swift professional response that mirrored the efficiency of Scotland Yard's formation in 1829 by Sir Robert Peel, whose principles of community policing emphasized prevention and public trust, much like how Ellie's courage initiated a chain of DNA testing and international coordination to unravel the kidnapping plot hatched in Hyde Park years earlier. In the quiet interview room with its two-way mirror reflecting her bruised cheek and haunted eyes, Ellie recounted the overheard confession in halting detail, her voice cracking as she described the slap and lock-in, the officer's gentle probing drawing out specifics while bagging the evidence. The process evoking forensic breakthroughs like fingerprinting pioneered by Sir Francis Galton in the late 19th century that revolutionized identification in criminal cases worldwide. When preliminary DNA results confirmed the familial match with Nessa and Edric Wells, her biological parents who had never stopped searching, their final flyer campaign funded by scraped savings, the emotional reunion unfolded in sobs and embraces, Nessa's unfamiliar yet instinctively comforting perfume wrapping Ellie as Edric's strong arms completed the circle. A moment of profound healing reminiscent of post-World War II family reunifications through the Red Cross tracing service that reunited thousands separated by war's chaos, teaching the philosophical truth that belonging transcends blood, yet demands honest reckoning with the past. Vividly, Ellie's internal conflict raged, love for the only parent she knew warring with betrayal's sting, as she requested to view Henry and Lisa in processing, their defeated figures behind glass evoking Shakespearean tragedy, where flawed love destroys what it seeks to protect. Henry's tearful, "We love you too much," and Lisa's broken surrender, highlighting moral ambiguity, where good intentions pave roads to harm. A lesson in universal wisdom that echoes Buddhist concepts of attachment causing suffering or Christian parables of prodigal returns, urging modern English learners to employ advanced concessive clauses. Even though they raised me with care, the foundation was built on lies. In reflective writing to process complex emotions and advocate against child exploitation in awareness campaigns. The station's hum provided backdrop as arrangements were made for Ellie's temporary safe stay, her biological parents offering unconditional patience. Take all the time you need, even if you stay in the U.S., their compassion contrasting the Gibsons' desperation, inspiring Ellie's flicker of excitement amid grief for the life stolen in 2005. A year marked historically by global shifts like Hurricane Katrina exposing vulnerabilities or the London bombings highlighting urban fragility, paralleling how personal catastrophes reveal inner strength. This chapter propels the journey toward reclamation, where Ellie's steps from station to uncertain future symbolize the hero's return in Joseph Campbell's monomyth, transformed yet carrying scars that become sources of wisdom, connecting to English learning by modeling how precise vocabulary, profound reckoning, moral ambiguity, and narrative arcs empower survivors to share stories that prevent future harms in our digital age of missing persons alerts and family DNA databases. What Hyde Park moment of stolen innocence or hidden truth has shaped your path, and how can cultivating advanced English skills, such as balancing contrasting viewpoints in balanced sentences, help you forgive without forgetting, confront without collapsing, and ultimately author a future rooted in authentic belonging and compassionate justice? In the days following the revelation, as expedited DNA confirmation solidified Ellie's identity as Sarah Wells, and Henry and Lisa faced formal charges for the 2005 Hyde Park abduction, with international cooperation between UK and US authorities echoing post-World War II Nuremberg principles of individual accountability over collective denial. Ellie navigated a whirlwind of emotions in temporary safe housing, her biological parents Nessa and Edric offering gentle presence without pressure. Their shared meals filled with tentative stories of her toddler years that painted a lost childhood of park picnics and bedtime tales, contrasting the fabricated memories she once cherished. Emotional development deepened through quiet reflections where anger toward the Gibsons softened into complicated grief. Lisa's pan strike that freed her a redemptive act amid years of complicity, teaching the stoic dichotomy of control, Epictetus, focus on judgments, not events, and the power of nuanced forgiveness that neither excuses nor erases. Much like South Africa's Truth and Reconciliation Commission in the 1990s that allowed victims to confront perpetrators for healing rather than pure retribution, fostering societal renewal. Vivid moments included Ellie tracing her reflection in a mirror, the bruise fading as questions bloomed. What if the slap had escalated, or if Lisa hadn't chosen mercy? Her request to view the Gibsons one final time through glass revealed their broken figures, Henry's desperate pleas and Lisa's quiet tears humanizing the criminals, prompting Ellie's whispered conflict. I still love parts of what they gave me, yet hate the theft. A raw honesty that models universal wisdom against black and white thinking. Relevant today in therapy practices addressing attachment trauma or adoption reunions facilitated by DNA kits like those popularized since the 2010s. Modern English relevance shines as Ellie practiced articulating her story in statements to authorities, mastering reported speech. They said they loved me too much, and emotional idioms like world turned upside down, meaning complete upheaval, rooted in Shakespearean imagery of chaos, to convey turmoil clearly, empowering her and viewers to use language as a tool for advocacy against child trafficking, which affects millions globally per UNICEF reports, urging communities to vigilance via social media and community watches. Historically, the case paralleled infamous kidnappings like the 1970s Chowchilla bus abduction, where survivors rebuilt through resilience, or London's own 19th-century Foundling Hospital records that documented abandoned or stolen children, reminding us that truth-seeking has long been a human imperative. As Ellie prepared for return flights and future visits, balancing dual identities with therapy support, her journey inspired profound growth. From panicked tourist to empowered young woman standing at identity's crossroads, the London streets now symbols of both loss and rediscovery. This chapter closes one loop while opening horizons of possibility, blending character depth with philosophical insight to encourage reflection on inherited narratives. How will you examine the Tower Bridge photo moments in your own story? Those seemingly perfect images hiding background truths, and what advanced English practice, such as writing dual-perspective narratives, will strengthen your voice to claim authenticity, extend compassion across fractured bonds, and contribute to a world where no child's identity is stolen again. Months later, as Ellie, now embracing Sarah Wells while honoring fragments of her Gibson upbringing, stood on a different bridge overlooking the Thames during a return visit facilitated by healing therapy, the city lights reflecting like stars on water symbolized reclaimed wonder, her biological parents beside her sharing quiet stories of the search that never wavered, their perseverance echoing the suffragettes' long campaign for voting rights in early 20th century Britain that transformed society through steadfast advocacy despite opposition. Emotional closure emerged gradually through letters exchanged with Lisa, serving sentence, expressing remorse without demanding forgiveness, and limited contact with Henry, allowing Ellie to process the slap sting and the love that justified crime, a nuanced journey illustrating Jungian shadow integration, confronting darkness within family to achieve wholeness, while philosophically affirming that love without truth is incomplete, much like incomplete sentences in English that require conjunctions. Although they raised me kindly, the deception fractured trust. For full meaning. Vivid character growth shown in Ellie's decision to pursue studies in psychology or child advocacy. Her social media post of the original Tower Bridge photo now captioned with a powerful message of resilience that went viral, inspiring thousands to check missing persons databases and support DNA reunions. Connecting to modern movements like the 2020's global campaigns against human trafficking amplified by platforms where clear English communication, using persuasive techniques like ethos, pathos, and logos, mobilizes action. Historically, this arc parallels the 18th century Enlightenment emphasis on reason and individual rights that challenged feudal loyalties, or the post-slavery reparations debates, teaching universal wisdom that stolen lives demand not only justice, but restorative dialogue, urging English learners to craft impactful narratives with advanced structures like passive voice for objectivity, the child was taken, or active voice for empowerment. I reclaimed my name. As Ellie hugged Nessa and Edric goodbye at the airport, promising future summers in London while maintaining U.S. roots, the weight of dual worlds lightened into balanced possibility, her bruise long healed, but the memory a scar of strength, much like London's Blitz scars transformed into memorials of endurance during World War II. This final chapter completes the inspiring odyssey from photoclick innocence to profound self-discovery, weaving historical threads, emotional layers, and philosophical depth into a tapestry that celebrates human capacity for renewal amid betrayal. What bridge in your life spans a chasm of uncertainty or hidden truth, and how will dedicating yourself to masterful English expression, blending personal story with broader wisdom, enable you to cross it with grace, forgive where possible, advocate fiercely, and emerge not as victim of circumstance, but architect of a truer, more compassionate tomorrow?